Sai Ram. In the April of 2025, as Sai devotees around the world gathered to observe the Sri Sathya Sai Aradhana Mahotsavam in remembrance and devotion to our dear Swami, a very unique and special one of its kind service activity was being conducted in faraway Madagascar. Yes, 185 members from the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, and this includes doctors, medical professionals, volunteers, devotees, people from around the world, gathered in Madagascar to conduct a medical camp of a magnitude that has possibly never been done before in the history of the Sri Sathya Sai organizations. Over 5 days, they saw, treated and cured and gave hope, courage to more than 6,600 patients. That is on an average about 1,300 patients every day. And this was across 16 specialties. And it was such heartfelt treatment and care that it touched thousands of hearts, not just of those patients who were treated, but thousands more who saw and who brought these patients. Now, while these stories kept coming and I kept hearing, I was definitely thrilled with the beauty and the touching nature of these stories. But what amazed me, what made me wonder was, how is it that these people spend their own money? I'm talking about the 185 members who they spend their own money traveling from around the world, going there and bringing their own medicines, bringing their own equipment. Not a single pie is spent by the organization in any of their travel and accommodation. They do it all on their own, and every dollar that the Sri Sathya Sai World Foundation or the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization gets is put for the treatment of the devotees. What makes people spend so much money and go and serve with so much humility and love? And then I got to know a couple of their stories, and it became evident why they are so humble. Let us take one story as an example, the story of Dr. Yatish Merchant. Dr. Yatish Merchant is an integral part of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization's medical team as well as humanitarian relief teams. He came to know of Swami in the 1980s, and since 1995 he has been associated with the organization. He's a very active member, and despite his age, his mental age and his spiritual age is so young that he is one of the most active members, serving the patients, serving the people with all his heart, and serving most importantly with humility. Despite being a top-notch cardiologist, he works with such humility, offering all the accolades at Swami's lotus feet. And when you praise him, saying, "Doctor, what an amazing work you have done," and this is the case of all the doctors here, he says, no, I'm just an instrument. It is all Swami. Swami is the one who treats. Swami is the one who heals. We just get the opportunity. He narrated an experience which has also been documented, by the way, in Sri Sathya Sai, the Eternal Companion, the monthly magazine of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization. And this miracle simply took my breath away, and it convinced me that every word that this doctor and the doctors speak in humility is coming because it is soaked in deep experience with Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Dr. Yatish Merchant has been a participant in medical camps around the world, including India and Puttaparthi Prashantinilayam, for more than 30 years. Now, while he has been conducting these medical camps and being part of it, there was a period in time when he himself had an affliction, an eye affliction called keratoconus. You see, the eye is having a transparent protective covering called the cornea. In keratoconus, this cornea starts becoming cone-shaped and starts protruding out. Because of this, there is some amount of pain, but more importantly, the vision starts getting affected, and therefore you need spectacles to correct your vision. But then, since this cone keeps growing in size, keratoconus keeps advancing. So therefore, as it keeps progressing, almost every 3 months you have to keep changing your specs because the number and the power of the spectacles keep changing. Now, this is what was happening to Dr. Yatish Merchant, and he would visit Swami almost 2 times or even sometimes 3 times every year. And every time he had to visit Swami, he would get the correction done. Why? Because he wanted to have a clear darshan of his beloved Swami, of his beloved Lord and Master. He was receiving treatment in one of the world's best hospitals. In fact, the ultimate hospital for such eye care, the Wills Eye Hospital in Philadelphia. It is considered as the center of excellence, the best place where you can get this treatment done in the world. Though he would be informing Swami about medical camps and all the activities happening, he never brought up this issue with Swami because he felt he should not utilize the chance of proximity, nearness and dearness with Swami for his own personal issues. He felt, no, this is not the right thing to do. I don't want to do it. So he never told Swami about this. But every 3 months or every 4 months maybe, his specs kept changing and he wanted to do this so that when he comes to Swami, he can have nice darshan of Swami. Slowly, as this progressed, it now came to a time when he had to wear contact lenses, hard contact lenses that will help in correcting the vision, at the same time pressed down on this cone to prevent it from growing further. This can be quite painful, but he bore that pain in silence. And finally, it reached an advanced stage where now a corneal transplant was necessary. Now, this is a big deal indeed. While transplanting the cornea can relatively permanently solve the issue, it is not without its complications. It means a lifetime of steroidal eye drops and also chemotherapy just to ensure that the body doesn't reject the new cornea, and you need to take a lot of care. Now, when the doctors and the experts did the keratogram at the Wills Eye Hospital in Philadelphia and highly recommended this transplantation surgery that had to be done to Dr. Yatish Merchant, he thought that maybe he will just inform Swami and seek his blessings before this surgery. And so it happened, when Swami had called him for an interview, in the interview room, he just casually mentioned and said, Swami, I seek your blessings for this transplant. And then Swami asked, what happened? He said, Swami, this eye, there is this keratoconus, the doctors have recommended it, and briefly he told Swami. Then Swami sat in silence, looking up, and in front of him sat Dr. Yatish Merchant, he too in silence, just looking at Swami. And Swami gave an enigmatic smile. It was as if Swami was looking at the divine karmic balance, the accounts, and Swami had decided to settle something. It appeared like that, and this is what I feel, Swami then looked at Dr. Yatish Merchant and said, take off your spectacles. And he takes it off. Then Swami places his palms on both sides of his forehead like that, and then tells him to close his eyes. And when he closes his eyes, with his thumb, Swami gently massages Dr. Yatish Merchant's eyes, closed eyes. He massages them thrice and then takes off his hand and tells the doctor to open his eyes, and he tells him to wear back his spectacles, and then he tells him, it's all fine now, no need to worry. Wow, very nice, very happy. And that was the conclusion of the interview, after which a few days later Dr. Merchant returned back to the United States, and he saw that no longer was it necessary for him to change the power of his spectacles because he is able to see clearly. Weeks turned into months and there was no problem at all, no issue at all, no pain, no burning, no issue, and he just left it at that. 8 months after this, 8 months, every 3 months he had to change his spectacles, and now it had come to a time when he had to get on to contact lenses and even the transplant surgery for the cornea. But 8 months have passed and nothing has happened. He gets a call from the Wills Eye Hospital and they tell, hey, what happened? We were supposed to do this surgery and you have not come back to us. And he says, no, I think I'm fine. They say that, no, you can't be fine. Our records are there here. We have been monitoring you from years. This is very terrible. You must come for a follow-up. At least come and show yourself once. And so he agrees and he travels and goes to the Wills Eye Hospital. And he is taken in for the keratogram. The technician does the keratogram and then he comes and tells Dr. Merchant, I think there has been a mistake, there's an issue, something is wrong. If you don't mind, can I do the keratogram again? And so Dr. Merchant says, yes, go ahead. And the technician does the keratogram for the second time. He comes out and he says, please wait here, I'll get back to you. And he goes and summons a senior doctor. The senior doctor comes and talks to Dr. Yatish Merchant and tells him, there is something wrong now. Please let us do the keratogram for one more time. Okay? And so a third keratogram is done. After which the doctor, the expert at the world's center of excellence for eye care, comes to Dr. Merchant and tells him, I'm very sorry, there seems to have been a mistake. What happened, doctor? You don't have keratoconus. I don't know how we have recorded your keratoconus across months in our records, but you don't have keratoconus. And Dr. Yatish Merchant just smiled, and he knew in his heart that his Swami too was smiling. One touch and the keratoconus was gone forever. As he narrated this story, as I read his story, I realized the secret behind the humility of these doctors. It is not something they do as a show off. It is not something that they do because it's a nice dialogue to deliver. In their heart of hearts, they are convinced that they are just instruments. They are just instruments of the Lord. Vaidyo Narayano Hari. The Lord is the doctor. The Lord is the one who heals. And we have just got the great opportunity to be His instruments. Each doctor, each medical worker, each volunteer, each devotee has his or her own such experience with Swami that convinces them that they are nimitta matram, they are just instruments. And therefore this humility, and therefore this love, and that is the reason why each and every patient who comes goes away with filled hearts, with warm hearts, and sometimes with tears in their eyes, having been overwhelmed with the divine love that they experience at these medical camps. Dear brothers and sisters, if you too wish to participate and volunteer in some way during these medical camps, yes, Swami has opened up these opportunities. These medical camps occur across the world in different continents, and if you are interested, there is this link above. You can go there and sign up with your name and email ID, and that's all that is needed. All you need to serve is the desire to serve. In fact, I remember on one occasion when all of us working for Swami gathered in the bhajan hall, and when we said that, Swami, for your upcoming birthday we wish to do some special service, Swami said, service, you don't need to take permission. Service is your hakku, it's your right. It is your right. You must demand. You must demand and do service. And the wise ones know that when we serve others, we are actually serving ourselves. We are winning for ourselves a kingdom of immense joy, peace, satisfaction and contentment, because that is the kingdom of Sai. Dear Swami, grateful to you for making us your instruments, grateful to you for all the opportunities you bestow on us. May the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.